Spillway. The governor has been closely following all of this and has been in contact with the officials that are managing the incident throughout the weekend, and again has had conversations with us here tonight. Within the last hour, he has issued an emergency proclamation for the situation. The proclamation will give us the ability to take all actions necessary to protect public health and to help the local officials in their effort in doing the same. We also activated the State Operations Center, which you see behind me this afternoon, when the Department of Water Resources realized the problem was developing at the auxiliary spillway. Our 24-hour California Warning Center has also been sending notifications to counties downstream that could be affected by any potential rising water and or evacuations. Our law enforcement branch has also deployed a number of mutual aid law enforcement assets to assist Butte County Sheriff and others with the evacuations of individuals. And our fire and rescue branch has deployed a number of swiftwater rescue teams from throughout the Northern California area to assist with any evacuations that are necessary or any high water type of situations. We've been also working very closely with our partner agencies and state government. All state agencies that have a role have been activated and are here at the State Operations Center. This is a combined effort in support of Butte County and surrounding counties. The Red Cross has also been engaged to support with shelters and displaced residents. Part of that has been the folks you see behind me. I'm going to let each one of them talk. California Highway Patrol has been very much engaged with traffic management and support of local authority. The California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection, CAL FIRE, has been very engaged with their incident management teams, and the California National Guard has been engaged with deploying resources at the ready, both air assets and ground forces as necessary to support the situation. So with that, I'm going to turn it quickly over to each one of the leads from the various agencies. First, I'm going to turn it over to Chief Ken Pemlott, the Director of the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection, CAL FIRE.
Good evening. As Director Gellargiucci mentioned, CAL FIRE deployed an incident management team to work directly with the Department of Water Resources as early as Thursday evening. We've had an incident management team jointly co-located, engaged, and embedded with the water resources, engaging in all the operations, working towards mitigating the incident. In addition to that, they're not just working on plans for the facility and the operations there, but they have been very actively engaged in contingency planning well outside of and downstream of the facility. And the evacuations and the process that occurred today was a direct result of the contingency planning, and they were prepared to provide that notification to make those evacuations based on the planning and the efforts that had gone on. Again, this is something CAL FIRE is well practiced at with incident management teams, not only on wildland fires, but all hazard emergencies around the state. So in addition to the management team, CAL FIRE, as part of the mutual aid system, also has numerous fire engines, hand crews, and helicopters deployed and available to respond should they be needed. With that, I will turn it over to General Baldwin with the National Guard.
Thank you, Chief Pemlott. California National Guard has all of our resources standing by and available for the call to assist civil authorities both in the impacted area in helping the displaced people, as well as helping DWR focus on helping to shore up the spillway. We've deployed aviation assets. We have military police that are going to be deploying to Yuba County. We've also have high water truck transportation available, and we're prepared to assist with mass care and shelter of displaced people. Again, all of our resources are available. We have over 1,200 people on duty in Northern California that are ready to go at a moment's notice, and we can bring in additional resources as necessary. In addition, we've been in direct contact with leadership at the United States Northern Command, so if we need additional resources from other military organizations throughout the nation, they'll be able to deploy right away.
Good evening. I'm Deputy Commissioner Warren Stanley from the California Highway Patrol. And as far as our deployment of personnel, we brought in an additional 100 personnel. We brought in 50 from what we call Northern Division, and they are assisting up in Oroville. They're assisting patrolling the city of Oroville and they're also helping out the evacuation center. We brought in another 50 personnel, 50 officers from here in the Sacramento Valley, and they are assisting with patrolling in Yuba City, Marysville, Wheatland, Gridley, and Live Oak. They're also helping with evacuation, general law enforcement type services, and any other services that may be needed. Additionally to the personnel, we brought in some other assets. We brought in 3 helicopters that can assist with search and rescue, and also 2 airplanes that can also assist with search and rescue, and also provide us information on traffic control with some of the cameras that they have. And we'll be evaluating overnight, depending on what happens, what our deployment will be for tomorrow morning.
Okay, so you can see that really the full power of the state of California has been made available in support of Butte County and the surrounding counties during this situation. Again, the Butte County Sheriff has, and the local authorities have done a great job in being able to manage the situation. These are always complex situations, and all the resources you see behind me have been made available as necessary. So with that, be happy to answer any questions.
When was the last time that the National Guard was mobilized?
We actually mobilize the National Guard all the time for a lot of different reasons. It's just the levels of deployment, particularly during fire season. The National Guard is tremendously a major partner with CAL FIRE and OES in being able to provide aviation assets, all ground firefighters, et cetera. We use them on a number of different kinds of occasions. So really, we mobilize them pretty regularly.
Yeah, so I would just add that we do missions across the state almost on a daily basis. The last large-scale mobilization, as Director Ghilarducci said, was for wildfires in the past wildfire season. We also mobilized almost 2,000 people to support the Super Bowl. The last time, though, we did an alert for the entire California National Guard, as we did today, was the 1992 riots. So we did, in fact, put out a notification not to report in, but to be ready to go if needed, to all 23,000 soldiers and airmen that are part of the California National Guard.
And so the type of duties you'll be doing again for this incident?
So we have a broad ranges of capability that we make available. We'll be sending 8 helicopters to assist with the spillway reconstruction activities beginning tomorrow. Those aircraft will also be available for search and rescue if we have to move into that mode. We're sending military police to assist with law enforcement in securing evacuated areas. And we're also going to be sending mass care and shelter units that can shelter either responders or displaced people.
Thanks, Jim.
What is the timetable for, or the threshold, the trigger that you're looking for to ratchet back down out of this emergency operations mode?
So the question had to do with our timeframes of starting to ratchet down after the next few hours or few days. Really, that's going to be dependent upon the needs of local government. Our role in this particular case is in support of the local authorities and the evacuations that have taken place, and also to support Department of Water Resources as they begin their process of doing whatever reconstruction or mitigation is necessary to make the situation safe and secure, so there's no longer a public safety threat.
So you have teams scattered all over the area right now. So what seems to be the biggest challenge for you at this moment?
The question had to do with our teams that are scattered around the area and what are the challenge. Well, really, we've got a lot of resources that are staged and in place. I mean, the idea here was that, like all of us, this sort of unfolded, and we wanted to make sure we had all the resources in front of the evolving crisis so that we weren't late to being able to respond. Right now, those resources are going to be supported logistically, kept at the ready. The biggest challenge is really making sure that we continue to stay out in front with situational awareness to make sure that we have the right resource at the right time made available both to the county and to DWR.
Throughout the last couple of days, there's been this confidence that there wouldn't be any threat to the public, flooding, anything like that, and all of a sudden that changed. Can you talk about that a little bit?
I'm going to turn it over to the Department of Water Resources Rep. Gary Bardini. Gary?
Gary Bardini, Department of Water Resources Deputy Director. When you come into an emergency event,
like the one we just have here, where essentially you have facilities that are compromised. It takes a bit of time to go through the assessment of it and bring them online. As we work through the issues, there are sometimes where there's circumstances. So we're right now working through those.
And while I have you up there, we have a reporter out at the dam, and he's telling us that everything is completely dark there. The lights have been shut off. Can you respond to that? Any of your light on the please?
I don't have white where lights are off.
Last question?
We've had some viewers who sent in photos of prior years where there were damage to the spillway. Can you address those concerns? Were there testing, any, I guess, improvements made at that time to maybe prevent a situation like this from happening?
Well, we have constant ongoing maintenance and inspection activities in the department and by FERC, so I'm just not sure what the circumstances were of the past.
Gary, obviously, we have an immediate situation that needs to be handled, but we have 5 days of dry weather and then 8 days where precipitation is forecast.
Yes.
What kind of long-term plans do we have in terms of making sure that we're not all back here in 10 days?
Yeah.